What's up, family, and welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Wellness Podcast, the space where healing is honored, rest is sacred, and we speak our truth without shame. I'm your host, Cori, and I'm sending love and light to you wherever you may be today. So whether you're taking a walk, you're driving home after work, or maybe even to work, or maybe just to the grocery store, I don't know, meal prepping, or just laying low, I am sending all the good vibes to you. Now, today we're going to be talking about something that often is little spoken, as have been many of the topics of this month of men's health, and that is the weight that men carry. Black men and silent stress. However, before we begin, as always, we start every episode with 30 seconds of intentional gratitude, because we know that no matter what weight we're carrying, there's always something that we're holding on to with love. So let's take a moment together. Today, I am grateful for the men who keep showing up, even when the world tells them that they can't or not allowed to fall apart. I see you. I honor you. And I want you to know that this episode is for you. For the ones who are tired but keep smiling, who are stressed but stay silent, this space is yours today, King. Now let's talk about it. All right, let's be real, family. Black men are praised for being strong. They're praised for being resilient, being providers, being unbreakable. Like they can handle anything. They can take anything that life throws at them. But behind that armor, so many are carrying a weight that no one sees, and no one ever asks about it either. Today, we're unpacking the silent stress that Black men carry and why that silence is costing them more than any of us may realize. Now, let's start with a few facts. Black men are less likely to seek mental health support due to stigma, access, and cultural pressures. Again, being hard, being tough, being strong. They're also more likely to experience untreated traumas, right? Workplace stress and systemic discrimination, all while being told to man up. We talked about that a few episodes ago. And yet they show up every single day for their families, for their jobs, for their communities. In various ways, they continue to show up. But I have a question. Who shows up for them? Sometimes silent stress can go unnoticed because it comes about in language that we often hear. So sometimes it's going to sound like I'm good, even when he's not. But we all know that there's an inflection in the voice when we know that you are the opposite of good. I just need to sleep it off. It's usually when he's overwhelmed. He'll check out, go take a nap, because his nervous system and his mind are in overload at this point. I can't afford to fall apart. I don't have time to deal with that. So he shuts down instead. Many Black men experience this and have been experiencing this since they were little, because society has told them that this is what is acceptable of them. But that's not strength. That's survival. And baby, survival is not the same thing as healing. It's time to stop applauding burnout and start offering safe spaces. So why do so many Black men stay silent, you may ask? Well, we touched on that a little earlier. It's because they were raised to be protectors, not feelers. I can remember having this conversation with my husband before, and at a time in our marriage where it was very difficult for me to sometimes reach him because He was raised to be a provider, to be a protector, not to share feelings, not necessarily a lot of hands-on. He thought that just going to work, providing for his family was enough. Also because vulnerability was framed as weakness. That starts when they are little boys, toddlers even. Don't cry, suck it up, you're fine. Don't get me wrong, we definitely have to prepare our men for the world on the outside of our doors. However, be careful of the language that we're using because they stick. Words stay and they carry forward. Now, the world is already watching them through a distorted lens. So they internalize the pressure, their fear, their exhaustion. And the cost often manifests itself in things like depression, heart disease, sleep disorders, broken relationships, and in worst cases, shortened lifespans. So let's get into how we can lighten the load together. Number 1, name it. If you're a Black man listening, your stress is real. You don't have to minimize it, justify it, or hide it. Now, with this particular thing, I talk to my husband and my kids all the time about when something is bothering you, whether it's no matter what it is, it doesn't matter what it is. When you give a name to it and you speak it out loud, it loses its power. It can no longer hold you prisoner in a state of anxiety or depression or irritability or overwhelm. When you say it out loud, it loses its power. And I liken it to, because my husband is a huge superhero fan and he absolutely loves superhero movies. And I liken it to the villain in the movies. In the movies, whenever the villain is wreaking havoc, it's because they haven't quite figured out who the villain is and what the villain is doing, like the patterns, right? But when they figure out, okay, this person is the villain and this is what they're doing, this is their goal, the magic is gone. It's just a matter of time before the superheroes come through, right? So I look at things that we deal with the same way. When we speak on it, it loses its power because now you know the playbook and all you got to do is figure out the solution that works for you. Number 2, normalize help. Therapy, men's groups, talking to a friend, a family member, or sometimes just taking a nap. Healing is not just for women. Rest is not just for women. It's for you too, King. Rest is when our bodies do its best work because we aren't asking our bodies to do anything. I talk about this all the time on the show. We aren't asking our bodies to walk, to talk, to blink, to breathe, to get up, to lift this, to put that down, to type on the phone, to type on a computer, to drive, to see, to hear. You're not asking your body to do any of that. It's not taking in external stimuli. Your body is resting. Your body is laying still, and your brain and your nervous system are at peace. So please normalize that. Normalize that. If you like meditation, meditation is a form of resting. Okay. Number 3, create safe spaces. So to my ladies who are listening, hold space without judgment. Ask him how he's doing and mean it. Don't rush him. Don't try to fix him because I know that's what we love to do. We love to make everything all right. Listen, I'm guilty of that too. Just see him. Just see him. And make the space safe so that he never feels like or fears that this may come up in an argument later. Because that's not a safe space, okay? All right, I know. We got to learn how to fight fair, okay? And number 4, teach the next generation. like I stated a little bit before, let our little boys cry. Let them talk. Let them feel. That's how we raise emotionally healthy men, not broken ones who have to piece themselves back together again later. I believe I've talked about this and touched on this in previous episodes about that I have an open door policy for my family, but specifically for my boys, because they're athletes and we all know how masculine and how everyone expects you to be tough, because in the sports that they participate in, they are violent sports. And so you have to have a certain level of aggression. You've got to have a certain level of toughness in order to participate in these sports. However, they need a soft place to fall. They need somewhere where they can, if they need to cry about whatever is bothering them, because sometimes it's just frustration and overwhelmed with whatever situation they're dealing with. Because let's be clear, growing up in front of this constant microphone and a constant camera now as kids, I can't imagine that. That pressure is just, the pressure to be on 24/7 is absolutely unrealistic. But our children face it every single day, especially when they are athletes. So make sure that you're giving them those spaces and that you're teaching the next generation. It's okay. Now, all right, I think I said this earlier. Don't nobody want no crybabies, okay? We are not raising crybabies. Somebody who's sitting around crying all the time, because nobody has time for that. We don't want to raise that. You just have to find the balance that works for your next generation, because it's going to look different for everybody. What works in my house may not work for everybody else. However, what's working for us right now is really working. All right. So a final word to my brothers out there. Listen, you don't have to carry it all. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to feel, and you are allowed to say, I need some help. And if you are a man, remember to stay strong, because you are still strong, still worthy, and still powerful. Now, family, always remember, every single episode, I'm going to leave resources in the show notes and in the description box if you're watching over on YouTube, because I want you to be able to find resources, even if you feel like that you want to seek out help and you don't know where to start. I'm going to have some resources for you listed in the show notes and in the description box. All right. A final word to my brothers out there. You don't have to carry it all alone. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to say, I need help, because you are not invincible, and you need to prioritize your own wellness so that you can show up fully for those that you love. You are still a man, regardless. You're still going to be strong. You're still going to be worthy, and you're still going to be powerful, even when you ask for help. So for anyone listening, there will be links in the show notes with resources for mental health support, community-based healing spaces, and tools that you can start using today. If you are watching the video podcast on YouTube, check the description box below for this. Take what you need and pass it on. All right, fam, if this episode spoke to your heart, let it sit there and then share it with a brother, a partner, a father, a brother, a cousin, a homeboy, a friend. We rise by lifting each other. And Black men deserve that lift too. So before you go, do me a solid. If you're listening over on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, rate the show and leave me a review. I would love to hear from you. And if you're watching the video version on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and drop me a comment. I want to hear what part sat with you the most. Your voice matters to me. Thank you for spending time with me today. And remember, healing is not a trend. It's a birthright. If you are not subscribed to the show, please don't forget to subscribe and rate it on your favorite listening platform. And if you're watching us over on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, family, I will see you in the next episode.